Greetings, y'all. It's your Knock Peter Mata, and welcome back to another Golf Stories podcast. I'm, of course, joined here by PGA Tour caddy, Daryl Atten. Daryl, looks like our friend Adam decided to join along for this special week.
I'm excited that Adam's here with us, and always cool to have him on and bring his insight and, everything that he brings to the table, because it's, I definitely enjoy it. So I guess everybody will too.
Yeah, he's got the insider track. If y'all don't remember, PGA Tour equipment man, specifically with Ping, Adam Harding. Adam, what's up, man? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I got my master.
Whoa!
Yes, sir.
Make sure to show that off. Ready to go. So thanks for having me. It was really fun last time, so excited to do it again.
Yes, indeed. It is a special week. It is Masters week. I always have the green jacket on, but this would actually make sense for once, because it's a special week. So we'll get into the Masters talk, but as we usually do, we review our previous week, which was the Valero Texas Open. Still my background here. I'll start with you, Adam. I guess equipment wise, since what was the last time we talked about the Honda? Has there been any craziness since then as far as changes that you've seen or anything like that?
Not really. Valero Texas Open is a great tournament. We are fortunate enough to be able to actually stay in that hotel in the background that week. Yeah, the players hook us up. We're able to stay there, and literally the truck is right on the back of the driving range. So instead of driving to work, you just walk right to work every day. There's a great sports bar down below on the first floor there that players, caddies, sports staff, everyone hangs out at in the evenings. So really, really fun week being at Valero. Every year it's awesome. Equipment standpoint, we were pretty busy as usual. Very happy for I'm kind of getting ahead of ourselves here, but happy for JJ.
Yeah.
He plays a Ping driver, so we're excited to see that. Obviously not a contracted player with us. So testament to our product, which is great. Not to plug it too much, but it was just exciting, building for guys, seeing them be successful. We built some for Bo as well during the week. And so seeing the two of them kind of go at it there near the end was exciting for us to be able to have worked with them in the past, but also that week as well. So, exciting to see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Daryl was saying San Antonio and the Valero Texas Open is kind of a hidden gem. So I believe it now. Adam said it too, so it must be true.
Yeah, it like I said, it's just awesome being able to be there and kind of mingling with everyone. You walk out of your hotel room, it was like, there's this player, there's that caddy, there's all these people around, and it's you're just all kind of blended in.
It's almost like a little bubble environment, like
exactly.
Yeah, so that's pretty. I have to take a trip to there.
It's awesome.
Speaking of that winner, JJ Spawn, Valero Texas Open, Daryl Filipino.
Yep.
Got it done, man. What'd you think?
I was definitely excited, and definitely cool to see him. I played golf with JJ, and so definitely rooting for him to get it done. And he's been close before, and to finally see him get it done, it's pretty awesome. To see him get it done, and in the fashion that he did, he just was, in control of his golf ball. Sunday he made that double bogey, but for the most part, he was definitely in control of his golf ball. And again, not to, everybody knows my favor, it's a testament to the product of the driver, because that place, knowing what I know, is a fairway finder.
Yeah, he's plugging the Ping for you, Adam. So,
He's got the hat on and in the background.
I know, but real quick, it's funny because last week I played with a couple guys. I was actually driving the ball really well last week, believe it or not, as crazy as it sounds.
You drive the ball pretty good. You don't hit it very far offline.
No, but better than normal. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I was just feeling it. And so my playing partners, they're like, you know what, let me try that driver, so it wasn't even like, it wasn't like, hey, try my driver. There's like, let me see what that thing can do. And so both my playing partners that I played with spoke great things about it. But anyway, sidetrack, whatever. Let's move forward and go from there.
It's all good. We're plugging ping. It's all good. My friend actually listened to that last podcast with you where you were in. He uses a ping driver. So and he said it's excellent to hear from the insider. So it's okay. It's okay I love ping too. I don't play all ping, but I know they're good stuff. But yeah, JJ Spawn was our winner of Valero Texas Open. He mixed, spectacular. He had some hole outs, I think, early in the week and a chip in on that ninth hole. Did start with the double bogey in the final round. It's the first one since Tiger in 08 at the US Open to do that, to win, to double and then win. So that's pretty. And then, was really solid with all those, 4 or 5 footers.
Yeah, those
made like 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, those and just solid from 10 feet and in.
Yeah. So, happy to see him win. Who else was in contention? Kuchar and Matt Jones kind of made a little run. Some vets. Bo Hostler was there late. Yeah. Any other names that stuck out to you, Adam, Daryl?
Yeah, like you said, Bo. We'd worked with him quite a bit, and so seeing his name up there was cool. I'm trying to think who else. I'm trying to pull it up here to see who else was up there besides who you had just mentioned.
There was 4 people tied at the end of 54 holes. Dylan Fratelli was up there as well. He was tied. It was an open open tournament for a long time there. I'm happy to see JJ get the W. He's been knocking on the door for sure, and he almost lost. I think he had to keep his card in the Corn Ferry Tour Finals last fall because I know he had some injury troubles, a misdiagnosis from diabetes. It's quite the journey in less than a year he's been on.
Crazy roller coaster for sure.
Yeah. And go ahead, Adam.
Sorry, that's the cool part about this tournament. The week before the Masters, this is essentially a big tournament to get into the Masters, right? I mean, obviously you get status for 2 years, all that with this win here, but like we saw Corey Connors Monday qualify in, a couple of years ago. Monday qualify to go on to win, and then was at the Masters literally like all in a matter of a week and a half. It's just like
missed the cut. He missed the cut at Dominican Republic too. So he was able to Monday qualify because if he made the cut, he would have been able to Monday qualify.
There you go. So, I mean, you go to Valero, you get the win, and Corey Connors obviously has done great things since then. He's kept his card. He's played good golf. So now it's exciting to see what goes on with JJ, being a good guy, him well, Daryl, fun-loving, good, easy guy to be around. So it's great for him, and hopefully this can be a springboard for the rest of his career.
Yeah, as fate would have it, I think I saw his tee times the first one off at Augusta this coming week. So,
tee time is better than no tee time.
Oh, exactly. Right. He's waking up and life comes at you fast. A good thing, Right. So that's the Valero Texas Open. As far as our picks, the curse was alive and well for Kevin Tway and David Lipsky.
I don't want to. If there's a way we can skip our picks and just congratulate JJ Spawn, I'm all for it. But you can, go through it if you want to.
I'll just mention Gary Woodland. had me excited there for a little bit, but obviously didn't get it done. Adam, we still haven't broken that curse. Hopefully, second time's a charm for you on this pod.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, that's the Valero Texas Open. Good to see San Antonio again. It was a good event. I think it's time that we move to the main event this week, the Masters. As you can see, I'm on 12th hole, Amen corner. Gentlemen, what a time. It's obviously the first major of the year, and that brings all sorts of things. So, Adam, since you're a special guest, how does that affect equipment-wise for guys? I think you just told us before that the truck isn't even allowed on the premises in Augusta. I don't think a lot of people knew that.
Yeah, it's actually in a parking lot across the street. There's a big plaza there. It's actually not too far from the driving range. You have to basically go across the street. There's actually a back entrance, so if you have access, you can get into the practice areas and all that. But it's literally, we get 3 badges, and all the badges have the picture of the person on it. So it's not something you can just give away to somebody. They're very, very, and not a surprise to anybody, they're very, very secure with their credentialing and how they handle that. That's why I'm not there this week. We have only 3 of our team there. And it's a smaller field. I mean, what is there, 90 in the field?
Yeah, something like that.
I think we'll probably have 10 to 12 in that range. So we don't really need the full team. It is nice to be there. However, it's still a work week and it's across the street. They will get some time to be able to go in. I'm sure at some point. Mm-hmm. Usually we get a little bit of time. But yeah, from an equipment standpoint, it's interesting because we have the guy that comes to my mind is Louis Easthason. He tends to gear up literally and speaking for this tournament where he'll be working on his clubs in preparation for Augusta, like mostly with wedges. He'll be kind of playing with different wedges that he knows he's going to need once he gets around to Augusta because he loves this tournament. Mm-hmm. Obviously he plays well here. He almost won, and really loves it. And so you'll have a lot of guys literally planning their gear weeks in advance before this tournament, being the first major, being Augusta. From equipment standpoint, this week, I do know, the wedge game is going to be really important. Obviously, it's a little bit different than like a U.S. Open or PGA where the rough isn't as thick. You're going to have a really tight lies. You have the undulation. So I do know from an insider perspective, they did a little work with Joaquin Niemann on his wedges where they played with the varying amounts of bounce on the wedges, where they took some off to be able to sit a little bit lower, take a little bit of heel relief off. So when you open it up, you're able to have the club sit a little bit lower to the ground. So you can, pick it clean off of some of those tighter lies around the greens and things like that. So I think that's going to be a big theme. The wedge game is all your games important at Augusta, but wedge game being super, super important there. So I do know they've been doing that specifically with Joaquin this week. And in general, the players are very much forward thinking about this tournament. They're as the weeks go on, they're preparing and getting ready. So
yeah, it's not all hype. You obviously know from Tiger playing different shots at tournaments beforehand, those type of history. Martin Keimer trying to hit a draw, even though he's been a fader his whole career. So it's interesting to hear it straight from you that, guys like Louis Oosthuizen, like this, they mark on this tournament that they're going to literally gear up for it. And yeah, it's interesting for Joaquin Niemann. I can imagine, come to mind 13, 15, if you have wedge shots on there, that you don't often have those type of lies on tour. So I think it's kind of the unique features of Augusta. Daryl, since I believe you caddied at Augusta, this is your spot, your number one spot, I believe.
Yeah, this is my my number one. I've been there once. It was in 2017. Unreal experience, just from the idea of even going. I remember Mac wins the event, and we the next, I think it was like in March, he's like, "Hey man, I got some bad news to tell you about Augusta." And so I was like, I didn't know if it was like I was gonna get let go, or I was like, if I'm not gonna make it there. I was like, "Oh, am I?" And I literally said, "Am I caddying Augusta?" And he goes, "Yes, you're caddying Augusta, but there's something that you can't caddy." And I was like, "What?" It's like, "You can't caddy the par 3." And I'm like, anyone could have the par 3. I don't care. As long as I'm doing the regular event, whoever wants the par 3 can have the par 3. But no, Augusta is a special place, and it's I just can't say enough. I'm very, very excited for this week.
Yes, indeed. From a caddy standpoint, do you notice anything, I guess, you from Mac or other players that I guess they're ramping up to, or they just feel different about this?
One thing that I do remember is I remember going into it because Mac hits a fade, and at the time he was testing this like lower lofted 3 with like a 13 degree, and they were like dropping it, I think maybe even 12 something, so he can hit that draw on 10, especially 10 comes out to mind, so they can hit that draw. And it was funny because he was prepping for it for like a couple events, prior to it, not putting it in play, but just practicing with that through it. And he never even put it in.
It goes to show you.
That happened a lot. So.
Right. So like, I was like, what are you thinking about that 13 degree? Oh, no, it's okay. That's all right, man. But all good.
I guess goes to show you practice doesn't always make perfect. But.
I will say we played with Schwartzel that round, and he's a cutter of the ball, and he's won there. So that was exciting. We're paired Stricker and Schwartzel the first 2 days.
That's a good pairing.
And so the Schwartzel, I was excited to see because remember when he won his Masters and birdied everything coming in. So I was like, you know what? He hits a fade. I'm curious how he plays this place. And from my end, you can kind of play it you could play that place with a little cut. You just can't have it obviously move as much. But he, like 10, he plays a cut on that hole, but he hugs that left side so close, it's not even funny. And then obviously, if it lands properly, it kicks left.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of got to be like a tight cut, a straight cut down the line.
And he's hugging those trees on the left, like a yard. Like if he hits it just a yard left of his line, he's in those trees, and it doesn't. But that's how he played it. So
any sort of double cross, you're done.
Yeah. So
who caddied for Mac in the par 3?
It was his best friend.
Okay, gotcha.
His best friend caddied for it. Yeah. So like I said, for me being me, like the par 3 has I don't have any what's the word, like attachment to it or anything like that. Like it doesn't. I basically have the afternoon off.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, it's fun to watch as a fan. I know no winner of the par 3 contest has ever won the tournament thereafter. So it's a curse that's yet to be broken. But as far as the course, Daryl, Augusta National, what's your thoughts on it? I mean, everyone knows about it, but what are your experiences?
A tougher walk than you think. One, there's no rough. It's easy to get yardages there because every number on the plate says the front number. So you need the book, but you don't need the book from a yardaging standpoint. So that was nice. It was, like that part was easy, and you're just in awe of everything because like, watching it growing up, you're like, oh, this is where he hit this shot. And, you kind of like, do all of that. And it's conditions unreal. And like I said, I've only been there once. So it was just an amazing time. The only downside, if you were to say a downside, was the first 2 days was really, really windy. Like it was the year that Sergio won.
Okay.
And it was so windy. So ball strikers definitely were able to separate themselves there.
Yeah. I think this week it's going to be kind of wet and a little chilly. I'm not sure about the wind. I don't think it's going to be too windy, but it's going to be kind of wet those first few days and then perfect later on. I guess going into it, what do you think the game plan is as far as would it help to be longer? You need to work on your short game? What do you think, Daryl?
I think you're always at an advantage of being longer, but that place for the most part is very much on strategy, and how to dissect the golf course and, place it here. It's especially it's a second shot golf course on where to miss it. I still I'm not anywhere near knowing how to play that place. Like I'm just, let's get it as, close to the hole as possible. And then there's some that you're not supposed to aim over there by the hole, which again, I've only been there once, so I'm not as well versed, but for the most part, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, you can kind of tell from TV if they go on certain angles, but TV itself, like just from most of the regular angles, it doesn't do it justice as far as the slopes.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly looks like you're about to fall off a cliff. Like I think come to mind is like number 6, that on top of that little slope there. I mean, I bet that thing is super sharp. But like I said, TV doesn't really do its justice.
And the trees are tall, so like you don't know where the wind's coming from, and it's a tough place to caddy for sure.
Did you hear any roars? Like, is it true that you can really hear the roars? Like,
you can hear
through the trees.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest difference in Augusta is the people that watch there, the fans. They're very proper because they have so many rules. So you can't just be as rowdy, and so that's why it's everybody's basically on their best behavior.
Yeah, no phones either. It's like
no phones.
Throwback.
Either.
Throwback concession prices as well.
Right. And they don't have anything electronic, like no electronic leaderboards. It's all like manual.
All by hand.
That was different. Like kind of,
Yeah,
trying to keep up.
Payphones. They still had payphones when I went, and that was like 2019.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, wow.
Payphone. People were literally lining up at the payphone, like, "Hey, making phone calls."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on number 6.
Maybe a 1T box. You know.
Yeah.
Goodness me. Oh, wow. That is a throwback. See, I've never been to Augusta. One day. Actually, my plan is I went to the 2019 U.S. Open. I'm going to actually the Open this year. It's at St. Andrews. Plan on going to. I guess I'm halfway there. I might as well do the Tiger Slam. I might as well go to Valhalla in 2024 and then Augusta someday. So I think that's going to be the plan. One day I will get to experience it fully, personally.
For sure, you will.
Yeah. But I think we're ready. Are y'all ready for the picks? And we're going to do something special this week. Top three Masters moments from each of us. So what we're going to do is going to, do our obvious dark horse picks and contender pick. And then after we make our pick, we're going to, mention a moment, starting with our third one and going to the second one and so on and so forth. But Adam, special guest, dude, start us off, man. Who's your dark horse?
I'll try not to pick the same ones as you this time.
I forgot about that already. It's been a minute.
I got a couple homer picks and then one that I don't think people are thinking about. So to start, my dark horse, this guy is not someone you often think of as a dark horse, but he is at 25-1, which to me is a dark horse. He's been there. He's a veteran. He's a ping guy for life. I got Lee Westwood is my dark horse. Okay. 125-1. Haven't heard from him in a little while. He knows the place. He's still hungry. I mean, he's got Helen on the bag, so he's going to be in a good frame of mind.
Keep him in line.
Yeah,
that's my dark horse. And then for my top three moment. This one will be a personal moment. I don't know if I probably covered it in our last podcast. I worked social media at Ping for a little while. That's how I got to go to Augusta. I went 2 years in a row. I think it was 18 and 19, I believe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Wednesday, once the truck started to get packed up, we were able to go walk the course. I walked the back 9, and then also got to go to the par 3 contest. My top three moment, my third moment was the first shot I ever saw played at Augusta National was a hole-in-one at the par 3 contest. I was walking, looking for cups. So we talked about the concessions. These are literally the cups they put them in, and they are great. Like, I have a whole set of these that I literally give to guests. Hey, you want a drink? Here you go. So anyway, I was looking for cups, and I was like, oh, they're about to play right there. And Dylan Fratelli was in it, and he was about to tee off. I go, I better wait and watch. And it was, I believe it's 7. It's either 7 or 8. I can't remember which hole it is, but it's way downhill, and it's like a peninsula green. And he hit it. It hit 5 feet past the hole and then backed in. Very first shot I ever saw played at Augusta.
There you go. So that's luck right there. That's a great story. Yeah. I've heard the par 3. I mean, you see it on TV. Is it in person? Does it look like it's almost like a bowl around the hole? Like you just can throw it on a hill and it'll just go right at it?
Oh, that hole specifically. Yeah. It was front. I mean, it had they were looking for hole-in-ones on that one. The other holes I wouldn't say were that way specifically.
It always amazes me. They make it look so easy to hole-in-ones. Yeah, I mean, it's 130 yards still. I mean, it's still a shot you have to hit. So yeah. I mean, no, that's an awesome story. And Lee Westwood is a good pick. He has some showing in the match play. He's hey, we were just joking beforehand in the text. Freddie Couples. We make fun of the old guys, but Lee Westwood is younger than Freddie, and Freddie for the last 10 years seemingly is always there after 2 rounds. So yeah, Lee Westwood's a good pick in my opinion as a dark horse. Daryl, do you want to?
I'll go ahead. My
do the dark horse and 3.
My dark horse, he's 200-1. I believe.
Holy moly!
Ooh, deep.
He played well around this time last year. Great ball striker. Definitely a place that I think that he can do well, and he's definitely in the older side. And I'm gonna go with Stewart Cink.
Oh wow! Okay,
Stewart Cink,
Stewie Cink.
Stewart Cink, and again, he plays well around this time. Last year, he definitely did as well. So, sometimes people just trend in similar, months. So I'm definitely going, great ball striker. And I think that place, ball striking definitely helps. And when he's hot with the putter, he can, make some putts. So I definitely like Stewart Cink. For a moment that, comes to mind about Augusta, especially growing up, the '05, when Tiger, the chip it, the chip in on 16, Chris DeMarco, that definitely stands out to me. And that's actually when I really started, growing my love for the game, just that moment. And obviously that, Nike symbol, just, the advertisement, and then it just falls in and, everybody had, Nike stuff. I was in high school still. And so, you got the Tiger sleeves, that's when it was trying to trend, the victory, Forge irons, like anything Tiger. They had a Tigerade, Tiger Gatorade.
The turtleneck as well.
the turtle, like the vests, and so like that's really when, my love for, golf and, Tiger just started to blossom. So that definitely stands out to me.
I feel that. That's an excellent.
And then in '05, Stewart Cink also played in that Masters. So I think he has, he knows how to operate. And I think he top 20 as well. So if I remember correctly,
he's been around, and I like how you
and
correlated those.
And again, like I said, with Augusta, the more knowledge, the better.
Yeah.
Just because it's so tricky. And even from a caddy standpoint, that's the book that has been so bare. It's bare minimum, that book. Like you're putting in all your adjustments. There's like that book is so bare, it's not even funny. And you would think, like the first time for me going in there, you would think like, oh, it's Augusta, it's going to have all this info. It has literally nothing in there. So that's one thing I can tell you guys. So you do a lot of your own work, at Augusta compared to most other weeks where most of the info's in there.
Yeah.
So
you have to color your own book over there.
Yeah, that one it's basically blank besides the heads.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I like Stewart Cink's a good. He's still got some length in him, and obviously still won a couple times last year.
Right.
And I love that story. Like I said, I think it might be one of mine coming up. But yeah, no, I think that's two excellent picks there. I guess for my turn of my dark horse, 100-1. Actually, kind of I guess y'all both picked a couple oldies, but experience matters. I picked a younger dude, 100-1. He's got my name, though it's spelled differently in his last name, Mr. Thomas Peters.
Oh,
yeah, that's really kind of out there.
Okay,
but he runs red hot. Sometimes that's good and bad, but when he's running in that red hot in the good space, it's pretty dangerous. He did have a tied fourth year in 2017. He played with Tiger, Phil, and Freddie Couples in that group in the practice round in 2018. So maybe they rubbed some good vibes to him there. But yeah, I don't know. I think in this one, particularly hitting it a little longer because of the wet first 2 days is going to help take the the stress off the game a little bit. And so I don't know. I don't know if he'll win, but I think he's going to have a good week. I'll just put that out there. As far as my 3 pick, it isn't that '05 one that's actually coming up. And but I would say the 2001 one because Tiger did something that's just incredible. He won the Tiger Slam. We just talked about him and what I want to do as far as visiting, but to actually win those tournaments all in a row, I mean that's something else, man. I hats off to him, and obviously he's returning this week. At least and hopefully cross our fingers. He says he will. So I was actually torn because quite frankly, all my things are going to be Tiger related. So I was kind of torn whether I should go with another one. I will mention the 2012 Masters was pretty cool too to watch because Bubba was a big fan of him. Kind of as he came out in 2006 and then kind of slowly started developing, really blossomed back in the 2010s. And I love Louis, so it was a win-win for me, whoever won there. But watching that one was good. So it's kind of a tie. I don't know. I'll put Tigers over it, obviously, because he won the Grand Slam in that. But yeah, that's my dark horse and number 3 Masters moment.
All right.
Contender pick.
Great segue into who I'm taking with my contender pick is what we're calling it, right? So, guy, I don't understand how he is this low. I mean, he's a 2-time former champion. He played well at the Players, which he is typically doesn't do well at TPC Sawgrass, played great there. Second, the European Tour event over at Saudi. I think he loves this place. There is anyone who knows this man knows that he absolutely just cannot wait to get to Augusta National. I mean, and so at 65-1, I'm like, that is an incredible pick to take Bubba. I mean, obviously another homer pick for me, ping guy, but he's ready and he's playing good. He's in a great frame of mind. I mean, if I could bet on it, I mean, 65-1 is a pretty nice payout for a 2-time champion who is playing pretty well and tends to play well too when he's kind of coming in under the radar. Like that tends to be when he picks it up, and this is a course that he can definitely do it at. So I would take him as my contender, and he's also going to be. You just mentioned the shot from 10 at the playoff with Louis. Obviously, Louis, another ping guy, was a win-win for me too. I was a year into my ping tenure, so I was already on the ping Kool-Aid, ready to super excited. And the shot out of the pine straw, the angle he took, just everything about that shot was just unbelievable. Only guy who could do it. When I visited there, like Daryl said, sometimes you go to spots, you're like, oh, this is where they hit the shot. When I visit, I had to go down in the pine straw to check it out. There's not really anything there, but you kind of know. You get from the videos, you can position yourself. Like, okay, this is where it is. Just to see it in person is just like, how in the world, especially with a high lofted wedge like he had. It wasn't like he was bending a 4-iron around some trees. I mean, this was like a gap wedge. So it's to be able to generate that kind of side spin with that kind of wedge is unbelievable. Just a testament to his shot making ability. So that'd be
what a perfect way to do it for him. I mean, Bubba, we've known for shaping his shots, and to end it like that, that's perfect. So that was your number 2?
Number 2. So my contender pick and my number 2 moment. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So yeah, Adam, that was a perfect segue between you and I. Perfect. Good story. Bubba, number 2. And Bubba is your number 2 pick, contender. I like it. 2-time major winner, 2-time Masters winner, no less. Yeah, good vibes. Daryl, contender. Number 2.
My contender is going to be at, I think he's 50-1. Let me see. Hold on. I had it right here. He is 50-1. I'm going Sung Jae Im. The other year he, had a good showing there. I think he's, he's been there a little bit more, and just watching him, he's basically a machine-like type of player. So I expect him to, get it done. And like I said, at, where he was on the odds, I was like, you know what? I kind of like this guy. And so Sung Jae Im is definitely my contender. In regards to, moments, I mean, I think besides the Tiger thing was my third. I mean, me just going to Augusta, was just an awesome experience, just because you never know, right? You never, in this, I would have been happy to just go to Augusta, but let alone being involved and, being of assistance and, just the whole atmosphere of it all. And so with that being said, I'll bring in a, experience that I had that made it soak it all in. So obviously I had the caddy. I don't even know where the par 3 course is, Adam. And, I don't even know where, if you were to put me on property, I won't even know where to find it, which,
come on,
good or bad, whatever. And so because I had that afternoon off, what else did I do? I didn't go back to my room because dude, you're at there's nothing to do there anyway. So what I ended up doing is I was done with my prep work. I ended up walking the golf course and just soaking it all in. and just literally walk in the middle of the fairways, even though like, just kind of just soaking it all in. So that's what I did that afternoon that I wasn't in the par 3, contest, which that in itself, being able to really like be inside the ropes and see all that's what Augusta has to offer. And that one specific moment for me that, because that 13th tee box right behind you right there, right? That's, for a caddy or anyone, that's sacred because you can't get back there. Fans or anybody can't get close to there. Only, caddies and players get to that, and so me literally just standing there for like 10 minutes, like, dude, this is just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a moment to me that just, was amazing.
It sounds almost religious. Gosh.
Yeah, it was, so that, like I said, unreal.
You pretty much walk 1 through 18, just straight down the.
To be honest with you, I only did the back 9.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I did when I went. I've only walked the back 9 as well. Yeah, I did
back 9
the back 9 twice.
Hey, amen corner, and that old saying, tournament starts on the back 9.
Just about to say it. So. No, that's nice. Back 9 is where it happens, and amen corner. That's the famous corner. That's why I got it up here. No, dude, that's awesome. That's quite. I can only imagine that was a Wednesday afternoon. I'm sure there's still patrons.
Oh, there were still patrons there, and so like I said, just soaking it all in.
Yeah, no, that's cool. One, you got to embrace it when you're there. I mean, like you said, there ain't much to do, and you're already on you're basically in the middle of history, so might as well. Yeah. As far as your pick, not Siwoo Kim, Sung J M, 50-1. That's solid. He's from Georgia now. I think he has residency in Georgia.
He lives in Atlanta now. Yeah.
Atlanta.
Look at you with the golf IQ there.
Hey, I watched some videos on the PGA Tour. They have a lot of good stuff, and I saw that he just moved there within the last year. So, yeah, I mean Georgia's had a good year as far as things, but yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think that's outstanding and great story. As far as my contender pick, I'm gonna do it, guys. Tiger Woods. 50-1. I'm gonna do it.
Stretch.
I can't help myself. He's in the field. I'm buying the hype. Be darned that just being here is good. He came here to win, and he's gonna have a great week, and he's gonna win. I want to put it in the airways, and hopefully he'll hear it somehow and get the good juju. Yeah, I mean, God, he looks great. I mean, what else can you say compared to what you were kind of expecting after 14 months of, almost his leg coming off? So I don't see why not. He's got the experience. He's, got some reps, I guess, from the PNC. It's competitive a little bit. So, and he knows the place. I don't know. He's fresh. We'll see. Hopefully he can make the walk. I guess that's the biggest thing. Can he make that walk?
It is the biggest thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he looks good, and they keep saying it's the toughest walk, Daryl. You can certainly attest to that.
It's a tough walk, but I think you're so into the moment that you forget about the walk. It makes that the moment that you being there, it just gets that extra strength or energy, whatever you want to call it,
to push through.
Yeah, to push through.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe that's what he's going to draw on. Hopefully, as a 50-1 in my contender pick. And suitingly enough, he's my number 2 Masters moment. Just like you, Daryl, the 2005 Masters. I think a lot of people say the 1997 Masters is where they get started. Like you, Daryl, I think the 2005 is for me a little bit more impressionable because I witnessed it, watching TV. Seeing that chip in. He kind of choked there in regulation at the end, but then, made up for that first playoff hole. But gosh, that tournament, that 2005 had everything you would want from a Tiger win. The spectacular, he'd come off, he hasn't won major in a couple of years. He's got a guy who's fighting his tail off and Chris DeMarco right at it, biting his tail. And I don't know, man. There's just something about that one. It's one of the more rewatchable ones that I definitely go back to every year. So for me, that's my number 2. Masters moment. So yeah, Tiger.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to have a Tiger expectations conversation at the end of this
Absolutely.
here. So I figured at some point we have to talk about Tiger. I mean, come on.
We do. I mean, he drives the needle. He is the needle, as they say.
He
He's
is.
won the PIP probably here, just on this alone.
It's already done.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. Yeah.
Adam?
So
Yeah.
I guess we'll get my winner. I have no reason to pick this guy besides the fact that he is such a strong major competitor. He's a cutter. I think cutters can win here.
Yeah, for sure.
DJ did it. Going back to kind of what Daryl's talking about, I think I'm going to push back a little bit on what Daryl says, but you know the course obviously better than I do. But I think the draw holes give it the mystique of it's only for drawers. And obviously Bubba being a big cutter as a lefty plays those holes really well. There's a lot of holes I think that also suit cutters. I mean, 18 obviously is a prime example with that.
Oh yeah,
It's, the way it is. And speaking of 18 as well, I think talking about the walk and all that, I think everyone knows about 10, but the 18 is on that same hill.
Mm-hmm.
And so 10 is straight downhill. But 18 is also on that hill. And it is, I think most people don't realize how far uphill 18 is as well. It's a tough tee ball with the narrow chute and the bunkers and the trees, and it's way uphill. I mean, that is one of the best finishing holes, in my opinion, in professional golf. I mean, it's
absolutely
just super challenging. And when you got a one shot lead, you're tied for the lead going into the last final round. Whew, I wouldn't want to play that hole. I mean, I would because hey, I'm in the for the Masters, but that's not the hole you're trying to birdie to get it done. So anyway, I think this guy can do it. I have no other reason that no one's talking about him, and he has just dominated the majors in the last 4 or 5 years. So my guy, 21, Brooks Koepka. Brooks. Like I said, I don't have any other reason. He hasn't won the Masters, but he has dominated the majors, and I think that he can do it.
He plays that tight cut because I've seen it live in Zurich. Right. He does it on number 1 there, and I can certainly see him doing that at Augusta. He came in second in 2019, so of course he can probably do it. Right. Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick, man. How about your Masters moment?
I mean, I also have to get in on the 2005 chip-in bandwagon. Just thinking about it, I mean, you guys have already said it enough. I don't want to beat the dead horse, but man, just that moment. I mean, come on. I mean, you had Vern Lundquist, who I love listening to back in the day when he did basketball, and now he's obviously the voice of 16 there. Just that the chip in, everything about it. I mean, where he played it, the Nike logo dropping in the hole at the end, Stevie Williams going nuts. I mean, just that whole moment is just I wasn't into golf. I started golf around 1998. So 97 Masters, I wasn't even paying attention because I wasn't into golf. I was playing other sports. So the 2005, that one was really where I really started to love Augusta and all that stuff, just seeing that happen. And I mean, it's just a perfect moment.
Absolutely.
That was the first thing that popped in my head. Number one moment. I mean, I literally still go back and watch highlights of that. When I'm needing some Augusta, like I'll go and watch that chip in or hear that call. Like the call by Vern was just perfect. I mean, just everything. So,
makes your hair stand up.
Oh, absolutely. It's still just, it's going in and you're like the whole time, you're like, is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? Oh, it does,
The whole situation, Chris DeMarco's on the green, he's got a chance to probably tie.
And Chris was a pin guy, so
it's a really a great moment,
Yeah, exactly.
So no, that's perfect. And Brooks Koepka, like we talked, been major champion 4-time for them.
Yeah,
good pick.
Hasn't won one in a while, so he's probably itching.
He's coming in with some form. He beat John Rahm in the match play, so
right.
I don't know. Right. Daryl, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, he shows up for the big events.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it at this level is a mindset, and he wakes up for these.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about that pick. For sure. I mean, I've used him in a bunch of U.S. Opens. He's hard not to pick in U.S. Opens.
As you should, yeah.
U.S. Opens, PGAs. It's hard not to pick him in anything. Yeah. So, anyways, my number one pick, I think, again, if you follow me on my,
here we go.
I know who it is already.
If you follow me, this is, and I don't know if, I think it's a little bit of both. There's some dream, some hope, and some, love affair to this guy. And he's 18-1, and he's the guy from, the Irish guy, and we're going Rory Mcilroy to get it done. So, Rory Mcilroy, it's his time,
Career Grand Slam.
Yeah.
How Adam went to where Bubba hit the shot. I took a peek where Rory snap hooked it on.
Oh, on 10, yeah.
So
infamous.
That was really, that and that moment in time, that was really when I was dived into golf. Like that was golf nerd, like, especially him, the first couple of days, I was like, let's go. I'll even share a moment that I have a video of, Rory wishing me luck on a golf tournament. Like that I have saved that if you guys want to see one day that I might show you guys. Like this Rory thing has stemmed back, from a while now. And so, I definitely want to see him get it done. And I think, he's got the drive to do it. So let's see. Rory Mcilroy, number 1 winner. Let's get it done. Green jacket.
Got the drive, got the game, certainly. Career Grand Slam is just right there. All he needs is one of these.
Yes.
Yep.
Get that monkey off his back. I like it. Hey, and like we were talking about, it's going to be kind of wet those first couple of days. McIlroy loves it when it's, nice and soft like that. So it's lining up pretty nicely.
Agreed. So again, whether you want to say it's hope, fan, whatever, Rory McIlroy. So for my number 1 moment, I'm going to stem similar back because, Augusta is just Augusta. So we only played 2 days, unfortunately, that week. And so in normal events, I'm jetting out of there, like jetting out of there, because mentally you're not there. You never want to miss a cut, big or small, the event. And so I had that in my mind because you're so, you finish late, you're just so not in the mood. And so, but at that time I said, you know what, you might not ever come back here, hypothetically, like you never know. And so I ended up going on Saturday just as a spectator, a patron.
Oh, okay.
And so I did that whole adventure on Saturday. So as and funny to believe, I'm 99% sure, I'm 99% sure, it's probably 100. Troy Merritt was also there watching,
Okay.
So as a spectator. Speaking of your, Troy Merritt, used him the other week.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I did that whole Saturday, did the, got all the food, spent $20, see what I can get, went to the merchandise, like literally did the whole, and knowing one thing that I know, you walk way more outside the ropes than you do in the ropes. And Augusta truly shows that for sure. I'm like, man, like I can go over there, but I have to go way around these trees. And I'm like, so you're spoiled a little bit, when you're a caddy, because all the shortcuts is just unreal.
Yeah. At your disposal.
Yeah. And so, and the crazy part is it wasn't windy. It was perfect weather. I was like, it wasn't like this the first 2 days. And then all of Saturday was just unreal. And again, I had a great time.
No, you took it all in, dude. Inside, outside the ropes.
Yep.
I love it. Yeah, man. That's an awesome experience and an event there. And good pick. Like I said, Rory, maybe it's his time. Just like what Jim Nance said about Phil, was that 18 years ago. So yeah, I love it, guys. Y'all have got some great picks. Y'all have got some great stories. As far as my winner, I'm going Homer too. LSU Tiger.
Oh,
Sam Burns.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it, guys.
Okay.
Stretch.
35-1.
Stretch.
I'm stretching it, guys. Like I straight Homer. I think I'm thinking with my heart than my brain this week. But yeah, I'm gonna go say it's not like he's playing bad. So obviously he won a couple weeks ago, and shoot, I mean he's got the game. The only thing is the experience. It is his first Masters, surprisingly enough, even though he's won 3 times in this last year. But generally plays well and wins in the South. This is the Southern tournament basically. So he's a great putter. We all know he can smack the ball around. I'll even spoil it. He's in one of my picks in your pool, Daryl. I've got money on him, so I gotta choose Sam
Hard hitter.
Burns. Yeah, I'm going all in with Sam Burns, baby. Play with them in junior golf. Kicked our butts pretty good, but rightfully so. And he's proven it now in the PGA Tour. I would say his 3 wins aren't huge. Obviously, if he gets this one, this would really put him on the map as far as a star. I always compare him to the next Dustin, and this certainly would put him right there with him. But yeah, that's my winner pick. Good value, 35-1. I mean, considering they have Spieth won it before, 20-1. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good value, I'd say. The experience thing, I guess, is the biggest thing. But Will Zalatoris last year came in second. So
yep. Yeah. No, Sam Burns has major championship game. I 100%. I think he will by the end of his career win at least one. I mean, I don't know where, but no, I think he's gonna win one somewhere for sure. Yeah. Like he's got major championship game, and he's got the swagger. I think that to back it. So
it's not if, when.
What you need.
Yeah, I like it.
No,
see,
he will win. Will he win this Masters?
Not gonna quite go there. Put him in your pool. Join Daryl's pool and put him in there. Yeah.
I'm in a season-long pool, and I actually do have him in that. So
there you go. So I've got Adam's approval.
Like it.
Yeah. So Sam Burns, my winner pick. As far as my number one moment, surprising, none of us mentioned that 97 one. I'll just kind of reiterate that was a big one for generations. I like watching it, but that's not my number one. I just want to give a shout out to it. It's just kind of surprising. But my number one is 2019, Tiger winning, coming back from all that he overcame. Just for years in between, that 08 US Open and, up to that 2019, people always count him out, things like that. And I always say you can never, you can not always bet on him, but you can't bet against him. And, to kind of like validate that, what I've been saying for years, that, don't count him out. He's going to make a comeback. And for him to actually do it is just amazing. And then, how he did it, kind of grinding it out. And then, the celebration afterwards with Charlie, Sam, his whole family. It was just picture perfect and exactly how you would draw it up for the greatest comeback ever. So yeah, that's my number one master moment that comes to mind when I think of the Masters right now. Think of 2019 Masters.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
You were there, Adam. Not quite the last day, but you were there.
I was there for the practice rounds. Yeah. So definitely wish I could have stuck around, but back here, just being there and then watching it happen on TV was just like, man, I can't believe I got to be part of this. So.
Kind of, you're part of that week. So part of history. Yeah. So, that's our picks. That's our master moments. Adam, did you want to talk about, since Tiger is on my lips, the expectations?
It's the biggest story right now for the whole thing. It's almost overshadowing the tournament a little bit, I feel like. Yeah. Everything's Tiger. It's Tiger. It's the guys on Twitter were tracking his plane, like when it took off from Jupiter last weekend. It's like, guys, leave the man alone. Like, it's going to be okay. But, obviously, got a lot going for him. It's great that he's able to tee it up. You said it before, he is the needle. He's going to there are going to be people glued to their TVs for the first 2 days. Makes a cut. And if he's in the mix, forget it. Everyone's there's no one's going to be watching anything else. Golfers, non-golfers, that's what Tiger does. And it's great that he's able to come back from what he did, knowing that accident was so bad. And his rehab was long, and the fact that he can even play golf is a miracle, in my opinion. When that crash happened, I was like, Tiger's gonna be lucky to even be playing professional golf after this, because of they were talking about he could have lost his leg at some point. That's how bad that was. And so the fact that he can is awesome. It's great for him, great for the game. And obviously I'm cautiously optimistic. I have another friend who's a huge Tiger super fan. Shout out to my friend CG if he's listening. He listened to the last one, so hopefully he'll.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to you.
We've been texting, and he's been he's gonna win. Oh man. And I'm like, I want him to. I'm cautiously optimistic. I just want him to play well, do well, come out healthy, and continue to make his comeback. So if he wins, incredible. I personally don't think he will, but I just, like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But I love him too. But
it's bananas. I mean, they were tracking his range shots.
Right. Just like what he's been through in that rehab, to be able to get your game to that level, to be able to win the Masters is so hard to do, even when you're playing constantly at a high elite level. So I don't want to sound like a hater because I'm not. I definitely want to play well.
We have to be realistic. Well. We really do. As much as we love them. Yeah. Daryl, I know you shared on your story that you won't get too excited until you see him actually hit a shot on Thursday morning.
He could fool all of us because he can. Again, I don't think the game part is the issue with Tiger, because again, he wouldn't go there if his game wasn't in elite form. I think it's the walking up and down the hills. It's the 4 rounds around that place. It's the practice rounds. Like, that takes a toll out of you. Like the little things that you do in between those days, like the eating, the workouts. Like, what are you doing? Like, there's a lot that goes into a week in general, let alone a major week. I mean, he's the needle to where, like, I'm even keeping track of what shoes he's wearing. I didn't even like I already gave Nike the winner last week in my little, now I think, hey, Team FootJoy sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah, FootJoy stock, so to speak, is through the roof right now because of that.
So, like I said, I'm definitely excited. The other thing is, obviously I appreciate Tiger a lot for what he's done. I don't think, I think he'll play well. I just don't think he can get it done. The only reason why I say that is and most of his wins, he was playing well going into it. Like 2019, specifically, we played with him at Torrey, and I told myself, like, this guy is gonna win a major. I didn't think it was the Masters, but the way he was in control of his shots and everything, and looked so calm, and didn't really like have any pain, like didn't show any signs of weaknesses here and there, and he was just trending. And so that's why I think it's the hardest part, is just going into this tournament only without any PNC. I think he rode a cart, so like I personally like, you've known from watching this podcast, like, I like guys that are trending well going into weeks. Like, I'm a fan of, and so for him to not really have any reps, and in his interviews he'd always talk about reps. So he knows the value of reps, and so by not having any tournament reps, that just, for me, it's hard to get it done when guys are well seasoned already.
No, that's tough. I think completing any of his rounds is honestly a success, and like, realistically, just him being here is a success. So I'll temper it. He is my contender pick. Obviously my heart says I please, by all means, play well. But my head's telling me, just like y'all, like, I'm just, please tee it up and finish a round, type of thing. So we're happy to have Tiger back. This has been fun, guys. As far as the Masters week, Hideki Matsuyama is the defending champ. They just had the champions dinner. I'll do a quick one to end it. What would y'all's champions dinner be? Adam, throwing it to you.
Oh man, that's on the spot. I'll tell you what, I was looking at that menu, and Daryl knows how much I love Asian food. That menu looked absolute fire. I was like, man, I don't know if I could divert from that. That was so good. It would be weird for me to have all that Japanese food, but man, that was so, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Everything there, I'm like, I think Jordan Spieth came out and was like, yeah, I'm from Texas, but man, I can't wait for that Wagyu beef. Like, that stuff is good. So I'm going to kind of cop out and say, man, Hideki's looked perfect. So.
Yeah, Hideki's Wagyu steak, some sushi, some
sashimi. Come on.
Some strawberry shortcake, I think, or Japanese.
Maybe I'd have some cheesecake. That'd probably be my dessert. Okay. I'd probably change some cheesecake.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's good.
Everything else looks awesome.
Daryl, would you have any Filipino food up in there?
I mean, I'm fairly simple. I'm just, as long as there's some rice and meat, I'm gonna be very, very happy. You know, and so that what Hideki has, the Wagyu, you know, with rice, like
that's enough for you.
That's enough for me. You know, I'm all good there. You can, you know, that dessert, everything's all good there. Like I said, as long as there's rice, white steamed rice, I'm happy.
That's Filipino enough right there.
Yeah.
I'm torn because my mom makes some delicious, you know, American food, steak or fettuccine, and, you know, delicious dessert. I almost would want her to cater it, but I guess if I did do some Filipino flavor, I'd throw some lechon up in there with some veggies.
Which is a roasted pork, Adam.
Roasted pork, yeah. And then usually it's served with some veggies. Yeah, I think if I ever got that chance to host that dinner, that's what I would do. But that's such a fun tradition. That's one of what makes the Masters so unique, even compared to the other majors. All the different traditions, green jacket, the dinner, just the whole, you know, atmosphere. Yeah. So it feels like a sacred ground. Par 3 contest. So yeah, this week gets us giddy, gets us grown men giddy. So sure. Watch some golf.
True.
Yeah. So any last words, guys? This has been fun. Adam, anything?
I don't know if you. I know we're running a little long, but I mean the concessions. I think I definitely got to give a hot take, and that's going to be, maybe it's not so hot. The pimento cheese sandwich is not good.
Whoa.
Not good. The egg salad sandwich is where it's at. If you're going to go to Augusta, get you a nice souvenir glass of Powerade or whatever drink you want, and then get the egg salad sandwich. It's way better. The pimento cheese was
Dustin will be very, very mad at you.
Very overrated, in my opinion. Big hot take. So.
Oh man, this just in. Pimento cheese, not it.
It's not it.
Daryl, what were your thoughts? Any last things, man?
I highly disagree because the pimento is amazing. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, I agree with Adam. You know, 100% about the pimento cheese. Even 200% about the pimento cheese.
Wow, there's doubling down.
There's so much better items on that menu in the pimento. Like I say in the caddy area, they have all that stuff for us on top of a regular meal. So it's not like I was biased towards it because, you know, I didn't have to pay for it. So I ate it just to be excited. And let's put it this way. I didn't like it. And I was like, you know, maybe it was just a bad day. I had it the next day and confirmed it. So that's where my 200 comes into play.
Correct. Same. Yes. I had it 1 year. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it again this year. Maybe it's a bad batch. Nope. This is bad.
And so there's so much better items on that menu. And it's kind of off subject. You know, I like to disagree with Adam a lot. So like for me to agree with Adam, like, you know, that's hard on me. And there's one specific thing that happened this weekend. It's a side note before we get out of here, is he was so big on Jennifer Kupcho winning a major. And I had to finally eat my words on that. And you know how hard it is for me to eat my words to Adam. And so
thank you,
Adam, you deserve more credit than I give you.
Totally vindicated, man. I watched her at the Solheim Cup. And I'm like, man, this girl has got some game. She is good.
You've been saying that before the Solheim Cup.
True. And then I went and saw
preaching her for a while.
I'm like, this girl's going to win a major. She won at Augusta National, the women's. She overcame those headaches at Augusta National Women's Am. I'm like, this girl, she's going to win a major. Everyone gave me crap. Finally, it happened this weekend. And I was just like, yes.
Mic drop.
Finally. Thank you for bringing that up. That makes
shout out.
Carry on top of this whole thing. Thank you so much.
I hate it, but you know, I give credit to where credit is due.
Yeah. Congrats to Jennifer Kupcho. Last leap into Poppy's Pond.
That's right.
So, major champion. And those are that's interesting about the pimento cheese. When I do go to Augusta, I will have to try just out of curiosity.
For sure.
It's $1.50. Try it.
Yes, $1.50.
I might triple down on it. We'll have a pod just on the pimento cheese.
Hey, if you like the pimento cheese, I'll Venmo you the $150.
Yeah.
All right. I get a couple sandwiches on your nice. Okay. No, that's some great stories, guys. This was really fun. Appreciate y'all joining. Appreciate you, audience, tuning in. It's Masters Week, baby. Masters Week. Let's go. So, who's your picks down low? Maybe you have a Masters moment. Comment it down low, whatever it is. Like, subscribe, comment it. Your words mean something.